Going to talk about blend pots. I'm going to use Telecaster, Stratocaster, show you some pros and cons and ways to use blend pots. I use blend pots a lot. Since I started using them, I really like them. Go find yourself a diagram on the internet. Simmer Duncan's got great ones. Lindy Fralin has one. Just search for blend pot. You'll find the schematic that I use here. Now, first of all, a lot of the blend pot diagrams will talk about using a no-load pot. And that's where you have the pot that does the blend has a notch cut out of it so that when you bring it all the way over, the pot cuts out and you're left with a wide open system. That's not a bad way to do it, although I use just a regular pot to do this. I just take my regular, the one that's in here, and turn it into a blend pot, and it works good. The two pickups will always still be talking to each other just a little bit, but I don't really mind that. To me, it's a little bit of a more consistent feel, and when you use a no-load pot, you will find that you will fall off of the pot sometimes. And so with a regular one, you can just do a sweep and you can go either way, and you don't fall off of the pot. And when that happens, your tone is going to go and kick up a little bit, and I don't like that real well. So I just use a regular pot and wire it up there, and I can use the ones that are in here and everything. So I should go back and say this. So what a blend pot does is these pickups are dirty. It blends your two pickups together. So you can mix the bridge and the neck in together in whatever proportion you want. On the Telecaster here, using a blend pot, I don't get a tone. On the Stratocaster, because I have a 5-way switch and 3 pickups, I do get a tone. So we will cover that when we get to the Strat over there. But let's talk about the Tele first. There's so many points, it's hard to keep them in order and everything. Let's talk about the Telecaster, because this is something that I've just recently done on the Telecaster. And I have other guitars like this blonde one back here that are wired completely traditional. Well, actually, if you really go back and think about it, a blend pot on a Telecaster is a very traditional thing. It started with the Broadcaster, and the original Broadcaster had a blend pot in it. And it wasn't until later on that things changed, and you start getting tone controls in there and using the tone, using your pickup switching, and what we would call the standard Telecaster, where your 3-way switch here, when it's in the front, you get this pickup. When it's in the middle, you get these 2 pickups, and when it's in the rear, you get this pickup. This should be volume, and this should be a tone control. That's kind of the standard Telecaster setup, but it's not always the traditional setup. Traditional setup gave this one to a preset bassy tone, and gave this one to maybe wide open, I can't remember, and this one had a tone control. I mean, there's just lots of variations on this. The variation that I'm using is called the Broadcaster Blend control. I started playing with it a little while ago. It fits my style of playing, because I'm not a Roy Buchanan or even Danny Gatton style of tone knob twister. That is a cool sound and everything, but I don't do it that much. I'm a flat picker. I'm a bluegrass flat picker. When I come to this electric guitar, all I'm doing is playing around. If I have 2 good sounds out of a guitar, really, honestly, I'm happy. If I want something different, I get a different guitar, and that's why you have multiple guitars. So that you can do that kind of thing, If I want to do the Roy Buchanan kind of thing, my imitation of it, then I get that blonde Telecaster out. And that's got the volume knob, the tone knob, and all that kind of thing. On a Strat, I still have those options. We'll get to the Strat. All right, let's demonstrate this, and I would be quiet, and because you want to hear how it sounds, and then we'll talk about it. So this guitar is wired up. I'm using it because the P90, and this is a Seymour Duncan. This is a Seymour Duncan Fat Cat, and this is a Seymour Duncan Jerry Donahue, which stands up pretty good to this P90. I'm using this because these give you 2 very, very different sounds. And so when I get into the blend pot thing, you can really hear how you can mix those two pretty different sounds into each other, and you get some really neat sounding sort of things that I couldn't normally get when it was wired regularly. So what happens here is when it's on the front pickup or the front switch, you get the neck pickup with a preset bassy tone. There's a capacitor in here that drops that down, and you click it on, bam, it gets that preset bassy tone. When you're in the middle, you get the neck pickup with no tone. It's straight to the jack. So neck pickup, straight to the jack. When you get to the rear, then you get the blend. And my former tone pot is now a blend pot. So I have a volume and I have a blend. I don't have any tone control on here. But when you start doing the blend thing, you get tone differences. You didn't get tone shaping as far as dropping off the highs, but you do get a completely different tone when you're moving the pickups back and forth, and you'll hear it. Okay, so let's start with the blend first of all, and I'm going to roll it all the way up. So this should be just the bridge pickup, and remember, it's not a no load pot, so you're always still going to get a little bit of the neck pickup in there. Let me grab something metallic, and I'm going to use my pocket knife here, tap on the pickups and show you how much of the tone is going through before we get started. So this is rolled all the way up. It's giving me just the bridge pickup, and here's what we got. See, there's still a little bit of that going on, but it's far more on the neck. Now let's roll it all the way up the other way. Remember, the P90 is a hot pickup. There's still some coming in. And let's balance it out. Alright, on the Telecaster in particular, some diagrams will show using a resistor to balance out, to drop the volume of the neck pickup. I didn't do that because I want the full neck pickup. And I'm going to use my tone pot to control that. The important thing is this, is I got the sounds that I wanted, that are interesting sounds, and I'm going to learn to use those sounds to get the sound that I want. That's how I play guitar. I don't say, oh, I have this sound in my head and I must find something to get that. I pick up the guitar and I go, ooh, what does this thing do? And what can I do with these sounds? And, what does this guitar do really well? So that's why not having a no-load pot doesn't really bother me. It's like, okay, this is what it does, and let's find out what we can do with that. So we're going to set this all the way over to the bridge. I'm going straight into a 57 Tweed Champ here. No pedals, no effects, no nothing. Cable to the amp. That's the bridge. Now let's roll it all the way up the other way, straight to the neck. Balance. There's your balance. Okay, I'm going to hit a chord and I'm going to sweep that thing. You're still getting that almost a wah-wah effect. It's not a true wah-wah effect, because a true wah-wah would actually shift the frequency. But you are definitely getting a change in the way the thing sounds, right? So still getting the tone change. Okay, so let's play something. Okay, let's go to the middle position. And this is the neck, wide open, no tone, no pots, no nothing. Neck to the volume, to the power jack. Now, you might say, isn't that the same as when it's on the neck? No, it's not, because it's going through the pot. So I'm going to roll this all the way up, so it's all on the neck now, and compare these two sounds. So here's in the back, going through this pot, all on the neck. Still sounds different. It's subtle, but there's a difference there. When it comes to the middle, what I'm hearing here, sitting here playing, it's clear. It's clear, sharper, it's a little bit more punchier, you know. It's a small difference, but in reality, I would probably never leave the blend all the way to the neck. In reality, I would bring the blend usually about halfway, or maybe even emphasize the bridge just a little bit more and bring it straight up and down. I actually have my pot like this where I can use the screw, and you could use numbers too. I mean, numbers on the Telecaster are kind of cool. They give the Muddy Waters vibe. But I have my set screw so that when it's straight up, I have a reference point. And so I've got about 75%, 25%. So that's where I would pretty much kind of leave that. And that's what this would sound like. There it is. That's the blend. So you can see it's really easy to just reach over and flip the switch. You get two different sounds immediately. All right, now, forward is a preset bassy tone on this P90. And boy, it is. That is so fat sounding. And yeah, that's really good. When I'm in regular tuning, I'm in double G right now. But I'm in regular tuning, that is such a good sound for swing chords, you know. Alright, so that's the blend on the Telecaster. And again, what I like about it, I got 3 decent sounds right there without having to fiddle with anything else. And so when you fiddle with your tone, you go, oh, I like this tone. Then when you go to shoot for that tone again, you have to go straight to that point again. And you're fiddling back and forth with this thing. And I just like the simplicity of going to that tone. Bam, bam, bam. So when I go up to here, I know I'm going to get that tone. I'm going to get that fat sound. And I don't have to mess with anything else. I can get there fast. I know what it's going to sound like when I go to it. It's consistent. And when I go to the middle, it's consistent. It's going to be there. It's going to do that. That's what it's going to be. And you still got your volume you can play with, you know. So it changes a little bit as you move your volume pot back and forth. So you still have that, but it's consistent. So I switch to the middle. Consistent. My variable tone is when I go to this one, and I can move that one back and forth, but I still tend to kind of leave it, and maybe I go, I like a little bit more neck on that. So just works for me. So, all right, that's the tone, that's the blend knob on the Telecaster. Let's get the Strat out, and I'll show you the blend on that, and then. Oh, here's the Strat with a blend knob on it. This is the blender on this one. I run Strats like this for a long time, at least 15 years. When I first discovered the blend pot, I did it to a Strat, and boom, it was immediately what I wanted. I used to take the Strats and move the tone, this tone from the middle over to the bridge, which is a common thing. But when I discovered the blend, it was like, oh, there we are. This is what I want out of the thing. So I have a volume, I have a master tone, and I have a blend. The blend blends the bridge and the neck in together. I have 2 Strats right now currently, and they're both like this. They're both set up just like this. It's a really good system. I'll show you, for me, it's a good system, and I'll show you why as we get into it. It's got the regular 5-way switch. The only other thing I do on the Strats, this is a road-worn Strat. I really like this guitar. It's got a V-neck on it, a nice chunky V-neck. It's got big, medium frets on it. With the side, not vintage frets, they're a little bit bigger. It's just a nice guitar. I just wanted one of these. They have Tex-Mex pickups. The Tex-Mex pickups are a little bit harsh sounding to me, even if you mix with I've had a lot of experience with Tex-Mex pickups. They're not my favorite pickups, but I make them work. The thing that I did on this one that really made this guitar sound good was I took, and you can do this on Tex-Mex ones, you can't do it on some other ones, I flattened the pole pieces. So I took the bridge and I flattened the pole pieces across here, so it's flat. It's like a Telecaster. And as soon as I did this, it got rid of that G string harshness that it had. It had a G and D string harshness. It's just, oh man, too much. And I just put those in my drill press and used it as a press and flatten them down. Piece of cake. You can do them with the Tex-Mex because the bobbins are plastic and they will slide in there without tearing. You have a fairly good chance. You have a chance of ruining the pickup. If it catches, the winding and pulls it down, you're going to ruin the pickup. But they're cheap enough that you can take that risk. I took the risk. Really made a difference on this guitar. It just, oh, okay, yeah, I like it. I'm happy now. It smooths it out. It sounds like a Telecaster. Okay. So let's demonstrate this guitar, and we're going to do it by tapping first. Let's get some volume here. My little metal deal. Okay, we're on the front, and the blend is set on 10, which means there's no blend going on this one. So here's what we have. sounds coming out of the neck. Now I'm going to take the blend and I'm going to roll it. So now it's a full blend. And that's quiet. So I have both the bridge and the bridge. Yes, so at the bridge and the neck pickup, full blast. There's no middle. And you'll pay attention on this. If I flip now to the back position, which would normally be the bridge, you're going to get exactly the same thing because I have the blend set so that they're both on. So you're going to get exactly the same thing. Okay, that's not normally the way I would run this because that's redundant. You've got the same sound in two positions. Normally I would set this blend pot at about 7 so that I'm getting 7. I'm getting 7. I'm getting 70, 30. 30, 70. So now I've got the neck. And I've got a little bit coming out of that. Not a lot, but a little bit. Let's bring it about, yeah, it's on 7. Just flip to the back. And you got a little bit out of the neck. Okay? When you are in, that thing's not tapping. I don't think that thing's as metallic as this is. Let's see this. There we go. There's not enough steel in that. So, now you can hear it. Once again, you always still have one or the other blended in because this is not a no-load pot. So you're always going to get a little bit of neck. You're always going to get a little bit of bridge blended over. And that's fine with me. So when we go to the quack position here, this should be the fourth position. This would normally be these two pickups. But because I have the blend, I should be getting some of the neck in there also. So let's see. You see? Now I got all 3 pickups controlled by the blend. So if I roll the blend all the way on, so I bring the bridge fully into the thing, all 3 pickups should be about the same. We roll the tone or the blend off, and it reduced that considerably. So I still have the quack, but I have a little bit of the bridge in there, which is subtle. Again, if you used a no-load pot on this, then you would isolate that completely, which you may want to do. I don't mind having a little bit of it in there because these two are so loud already that it kind of reduces it. So now we go to the middle, and we're going to get just the middle. Nothing going on there. Roll it up and down. Nothing. So this is just the middle, and the tone works on everything at all times. Let's go to the middle now that we've isolated it. Here's the tone. Master tone's working on it, okay? We go back to the second position, and you're going to get the same sort of thing as you did on these two, except now it's these two with maybe a little bit of the neck in there. So here we go. The blend is all the way off, as much as it's going to go off on this one. So it should be just a little bit of neck in here. Just a little. So watch. All the neck. Neck's off now. You're going to get these two and these two. Now I'm going to bring this back in all the way. Okay, so if you leave the blend all the way blended in, then you're going to really reduce the number of combinations you have here. So the first and the fifth are going to sound pretty much exactly the same. Let's test. Back to here. Same. When you come to the quack position, you're going to get all the neck in here. So you're going to get, you got all 3 pickups. Now you come to the middle, you're only going to get the middle. Come to this one, you're going to get all three of them again. So your 2 and 4 are the same. 1 and 5 are the same. The only one that's different is 3. So now you've only got 3 sounds. So you don't really want to leave your blend blended fully, because it kind of, you lost a bunch of sounds that you could easily get. So that's why I set the blend at about 7. And I pretty much just leave it there unless I have a reason to do anything else. That's going to give you, on the front position, a lot of neck, no middle, and a little bit of bridge. You're going to come to the quack position. You're going to get this one, that one, and a little bit of bridge. You're going to come to the middle, and you're only going to get middle. Tone is working on all of these. You're going to come to the 4 position, and you're going to get a little bit of neck. You're going to get the middle and the bridge. You're going to come back to the number 1 position, and you're going to get the bridge with a little bit of neck. Okay? It's a little bit more complicated than the Telecaster, but it's not that bad. Because you're still, my whole point on all this is I'm pretty much going to leave this alone. I'm going to leave the blend alone, unless I have reason to do something else with it. Then I'm going to use the tone a little bit, and I tend to leave the tone alone, unless, again, I want to do something specific. So I have my tone set at about 8 right now to roll off just a little bit of the highs. And my volume is at about 8 right now, so we're going to run through the positions and see what this thing sounds like, okay? Let me think of something to play, and I'm in regular tuning again. There we go. Neck with just a little bit of bridge. Here's your quack position. Here's your middle. Here's your rear quack or front quack position. And you can hear you still have pretty good quack. I mean, that's really so that sounds like a Strat. So okay, now to the bridge with just a little bit of neck. That is a usable sound. That's a usable sound as opposed to the stock bridge pickup where it didn't have a tone on it and had staggered pull heights on it. That was not a usable sound. That was really super shrill. Oh man, it was ice picky. You know, that's pretty good. That's the bridge. I mean, you can do something with that. So, there's your sounds on the Strat. Now, let's do the blend a little bit more. So, let's take the bridge and let's blend the neck all the way in now. go to the neck, and it's the same thing. It's the same sound. So that's redundant. So I would probably never go all the way. I'd still, even, let's go halfway. So now we got 50%. 50% here, 50%. No. What would we have? We wouldn't have 50-50. We would have 25. 50, we have 75 here, 25 here, because it's half. So 75, 25, right? There's 5. That is a really Telecaster sound, isn't it? I mean, it's got that. I could about 7. Come back up to the neck. So, that's the blend on a Strat. To me, that really makes a Strat into a much more interesting and usable instrument, at least for me, because I got rid of the shrill bridge pickup. I've got a working bridge pickup now that actually sounds pretty good. You can actually do some things with it. It's not super ice picky. That's as snappy and punchy as a Telecaster, but it's not so much so. It doesn't sound harsh to me. And again, this is a tweed champ, 57 tweed champ. I'm cabled straight to the amp. If anything was going to get harsh and ice picky, it would be this champ. But it sounds good. So, usable thing. I can leave my knobs alone and flip up here, back and forth, and I got 5 different good sounds immediately without messing with anything else. If I want to mess with tone, let's go to the neck, for instance. Let's go full neck, and let's take the tone all the way off and get the fat sound. Works really good for that, you know. Workable tone. I'm up here. What happens if I take that and blend a little bit of the bridge into it? So let's take this to about 7 again. So I'm going to keep that same tone. Keep that. I'm going to just bring a little bit of the bridge into that sound. Let's go to the panhandle rag. Okay, so what if we use we'll go to the bridge with a little bit of the neck. We're going to leave the tone all the way off, and here's what we have there. Definitely a higher pitch, you know, but it's not, let's see. That's pretty nice, you know, that's the bridge pickup on the Stratocaster. Tones all the way off. Let's take the tone to about 5. A little too shrill for that Western swing sound to me. Nah, I want an arch top sound, you know. Yeah. Like that. Man, I mean, it's versatile. Bring the tone back down, leave that alone. All I do is messing with the tone now. Switch to the bridge. It's a whole different guitar, you know? It's a whole different deal. So, here's one with all 3 pickups on. So this is the blend, completely blended between the bridge and the neck, and we're in the number 2 position. So that would give you, normally it would give you these 2, but because we're blending in the bridge, we're going to get all 3 pickups. So, here's what that sounds like. About that sound, you know. Let's play with the tone on all 3 of them. Somebody roll the tone all the way off. Should be the same. Yeah, that's the same. I don't know about that with all 3 pickups. To me, it's kind of vague. So, yeah, I'm not sure I like that a whole lot. Let's play some rhythm on that again. So here's the blend. Let's put it up here. The blend is all the way on, completely blended, and we're on the number 2 position, which gives us all 3 pickups. Tone is all the way bright. all the way dark. Halfway. Gosh, so many things to do. Let's take the blend off a little bit. Leave the tone alone. Just messing with the blend right now. So you can see that when you're in the 2 and 4 position, the 2 quack positions, if you leave your tone alone and you use just the blend, what you're going to do is you're going to move from these 2 pickups to all 3 pickups, which is interesting because you're going to move from a quack position to a non-quack position on the fly like that, doing nothing but using the blend tone. So let's get something that quacks. That's all 3 pickups. And that's going to be, gosh, that's going to be accentuated if you switch over to the 4 position. So here's the 4 position with all 3 pickups, and then we're going to go back and get rid of the 3rd one. Yeah, that's got some quack to it. All 3. A lot of tone possibilities there. A lot of tone possibilities. So that's why I like to set, I like to set the blend at about 7 so that it's working somewhat. And you can hear a little bit of that quack. Super easy to just take it off. But I like having a little bit on it. Straight middle. You know, when you have the middle like that, it's just, there's the only pickup on there, so you still have that pure, clean, unadulterated, single pickup sound. No combinations going on. There's no blend going on there. There's no nothing. And, you know, you could rewire the switch a little bit so that the middle position could be any one of these three pickups wide open, all by itself. So if you really like the neck pickup all by itself, we could do that. And so there's a lot you can do. But I think the middle pickup all by itself is pretty good, you know. A lot of, you know. Yeah. You almost have the neck pickup. It's good enough. The middle pickup by itself is a good pickup to have by itself. So. Yeah. So this is the neck by itself, and remember it's still got a little bit bleeding in there. So. As compared to this one. Middle by itself. You got it all there. You got that. You got the bass. You got the high-end pop. You got the... you got that pop going on. Here's the neck. Not quite as much pop. Middle. Pop. Of course, the bridge has got all kinds of pop. But doesn't quite have the bass. It's amazing, you know, how much tone variation you get on just that sort of thing. Just that flipping the switch back and forth on the same note, not touching the tone, not touching nothing. Let's blend it and see what happens there. Blend is all the way on. Let's see what it sounds like now. Not that much. You really only get two different tones there, because this one and that one are the same. The middle is different. Oh, well, that's the blend on the Stratocaster. Man, it's versatile. I really like it. I like being able to use the blend in. I like having a single tone control, which just makes life simpler. Um, you lose having the dual tone control where you could switch to that, but then it gets complicated. It's almost like pushing into the Les Paul territory at that point. And it's just not the way I work on a guitar. To me, just having like this, having the options with blending the pickups, and then having the master tone, being able to get that tone and immediately switch from a really raunchy Layla sound to that fat Western swing sound with nothing more than the tone and the pickup switch. You can do it fast. You can do it easy. And it's consistent, which again is what I expressed on the Telecaster thing. It's consistent. I can switch to that. It goes to that tone. I don't have to spend a lot of time fussing with that tone control, trying to get it back where it was before. So, like I said, first thing, I'm not a real electric guitar player. So I just play electric guitar for fun. It's relaxing. I like to sit here and I like to find out where some of those notes live, because I'm a bluegrass guy, and I want to know where the notes live for some of those songs. That just helps me with my knowledge of the fingerboard, and it's just fun. I sit around playing electric guitar, and I don't really play any songs or anything. I just play chord patterns, and I find notes and throw it into open G tuning, and just, it's just a relaxing thing. But there's a certain sort of, you do like to listen to the tone and the sound of the thing. You like to listen to the sound of it. And so anyway, it does need to sound good. I feel like the blend on the Strat really opens up the Stratocaster for me. Makes it so much more versatile than the stock Stratocaster with the two-tone controls and one tone in the middle. That's just the worst thing. Your bridge is almost like useless then. And for me, it's just way too ice-picky, way too shrill. I can't do anything with it. And in this setup, that bridge is a functioning member of this guitar. Very functioning member. I almost could do without the middle. I could definitely have would be Telecaster then, But the middle is the one that I would get rid of first. But the middle's got its things, and so, Anyway, that's the blend pot.